base card heroes.
We pull so much base.
What do you call a fish wearing a bow tie?
Wait, you just stumped me. I have no idea.
Sophisticated.
Oh my god. I hate you.
Got you on one. Awesome.
Got me.
All right. Now we can start the show. So, what are we doing this week?
We're doing some more PSA reveal / PC reveal. I have a lot of Pokemon, not a lot of sports this week for your boy. Absolutely none. So, thought I'd switch it up a little bit, you know? Go over some of my last cards from a previous sub from GameStop, and then some other ones that I've had in the PC that are, pulled as a kid and got them graded. Not always necessarily the best grades, but still fun to get slabbed up.
Yeah, for sure. So those are really pretty, kind of my favorite ones in my collection, are the ones that I had as a kid. You don't really care what the grade's going to be. You just send it in, and then you've got your card saved for the rest of your life. That's kind of what got me. That's what prompted me to start grading in the first place. And I sent a few modern cards in and got 10s on them and found out, oh, it's actually possible. It's not just some dream that seems like a fantasy. So, how many cards do you have at GameStop right now?
I only have one. It's a Steph, but my last sub came through, and there's a couple cards in this stack that are from my last sub.
Yeah, because I know you sent me a grade. I think it was this last week. We've both been busy, so my time concept is a little skewed right now. But I think you sent me one that was that you said, God, I can't even remember what it was, but it was like a 9 instead of a 10, right? But it was a really sweet card, what I remember. Are you going to show us that one?
Yes.
Yeah?
I think so.
Right.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So,
I think it's in
I've got my SGC order that I'm going to go through the rest of, same as last week. I think, we're doing this remotely now, and we're working through the kinks. One of those is lighting. My lighting is a lot brighter than Matt's lighting. So I think a couple more of these slab episodes where we're not opening product, I think is fun. You going to start it, or you want me to?
We'll start it. We're going to start off with a banger here. Got En's Zoroark. This is from Mega Dream. It's a Japanese set. There's an English version of this card that is way more expensive. But did you want to take a stab at guessing the pop here? Because we're going out of your realm of expertise. Can you guess the pop on this card?
So my any sort of TCG knowledge is limited to the cards you have really shown me and educated me on. That one looks cool. So I'm gonna go pop 2.
Pop 2? Absolutely not. There's about 9,000 of these bad boys graded in a 10. Well, okay, so that's kind of the realm we're in here.
Okay. So what year was that one? When did that
2025. This is one of the newer sets that came out.
Got it.
Yeah.
And what did you say it was?
Is
it like Pokemon or?
Yeah, so this is all going to be Pokemon for my Pokemon fans that are tuned in. You guys will clearly tell it's Pokemon. Everything in the sub that we'll go over today is Pokemon. Okay. Currently working on a sports one, getting ready. So when PSA wants to open the floodgates again, we're ready.
Cool. So mine are almost exclusively all coming from the 1996 Upper Deck Collector's Choice set. I threw Manny Ramirez in there. Was not a fan of Manny when he was with the Red Sox. He seemed like a weird guy. Came to the Dodgers at the end of his career. I've seen very few people that could hit in the clutch the way Manny Ramirez did, and I became a huge Manny fan after watching him play with the Dodgers. He was just a lot of fun. I think it was about 2008, 2009. He came towards the end of the season, played one full year the next year with the Dodgers, and he was just always there to get the hit when the Dodgers needed him. And to me, that's the mark of a good player.
Definitely a neat looking card, but 1996 is a long time ago, my friend. I was 4.
You know what? A 1996 set that I think I paid. I think I paid. Oh, you know what this was? I got this one in that box of all the.
The guy that selling out all of his stuff. You're talking about that guy?
I think I did. Yeah, I think I did. I think it was in that one.
Yeah, dude, that was still such a crazy find. For the people who don't know, this guy got a steal on this dude's collection and is still enjoying it to this day. So, because you haven't opened up everything yet, right?
No, and I was just going through it because I was setting up the desk here in my card closet, and I was looking at. I got 5 boxes of the 90 Skybox still unopened, and I was looking at the comps on that, and I think I can get about $60, right? So I can sell 4 of those for 60. That gets me
about half.
Gets me about halfway back of what I actually paid for it. Still.
That is crazy.
So,
all right, so my set's gonna go newest to oldest. So we're going from 2025 to 2024. This set's called Temporal Forces. This is what you call an illustration rare. There's no texture to it, but the whole card has artwork. The previous card is like a secret rare or a special illustration rare, and there's texture to it. So this one's just flat, but has some gloss to it. You want to take a guess at the pop at this one?
8,000.
2,235. So notoriously, the illustration rares are a lot harder to get 10s in. There's about 3,009s graded.
Quick question on that. So when you say illustration rare, is that is it the same? Do all the cards look the same, or does illustration rare mean that that's a different picture?
This is a different picture. So like there could be a Metagross in the set that's slightly different, and it'll just be like the top part is artwork and the rest of it's like the moves down below, because it's a playable game, so there's moves on the card, so it'll look more like, let me see if I have a regular one. Hold on, I have something that's not graded.
So question, will all of them have the same card number though?
No, they're all yes, so they're all numbered down here at the bottom, 178 out of whatever the set is to. So normally illustration. Sorry, go ahead.
So it's like a parallel in sports.
Yeah, could be. Because this one is number 178 out of a set of 162 cards. So there's like special cards outside of the set.
Got it.
So this is one of those special cards that's outside of the base set of, base card heroes. But
when you say illustration rare, does that mean like it's of the character? Is there an illustration rare of all those characters, or it's just an illustration rare for the whole set and it doesn't matter what the character on the card is?
No, for this particular character.
Got it. Okay.
So this is what a regular card looks like, not as flashy. So the picture is just this top part and the rest of the information of the moves and stuff down below. So this is what a normal card looks like, and this is what a illustration rare would look like.
So what would happen if you played that card in the game?
It's still the same thing. You're just playing a more expensive version of a card.
Which would be dumb.
Which could be dumb, but if you're into that kind of thing, it could be. I mean, it is a playable game, so like people collect those things and intend to beat the cards up and all that fun stuff because there's a game to it. So
yeah, for sure. So I want to take a moment. I doubt there's any value in this card, but for me, this is part of my childhood. It's Hideo Nomo, and I don't know if Matt, if you remember him. I think he was the Rookie of the Year in either 95 or 96 for the Dodgers, but really the first Japanese player to come over and make an impact in the major leagues, and he was really kind of he was kind of the guy that opened the door for the Otanis and the Sasakis and the Yamamotos to come over. And you have, a generation ago, Ichiro Suzuki and the Hideki Matsuis. And, before it was always felt that the Japanese players couldn't compete at the major league level. And Hideo Nomo came over and really, took the league by storm and won the Rookie of the Year that year. So I wanted to, for me being a Dodger fan, I definitely graded a lot of Nomos, even though there probably won't ever be any value in that card.
Oh, cool story, though. It's a really neat one. Okay, hopping into the next one. So this is what you call a special art rare, and if I can get it close enough and get it on the light, there's texture all around the entire card. So like if you took it out of the slab, you can feel like the grooves into the picture. These are more sought after than the illustration rare. So these are the cards that people chase. These are the ones worth hundreds of dollars. But this is Vaporeon EX. This is from Terrestrial Festival, which is a Japanese set. Japanese is always notoriously less expensive than English for whatever reason. So that's why I have a lot of Japanese cards, because they are easier to get. The print runs are more out there. Like, there's a lot more cards, so it brings the prices down. So it's fun to collect if you enjoy collecting the cards like I do. Japanese is a nice way to go, even though they have gone up in price as of recently. Guess the pop on that one. I promise you won't be in the realm.
15,000.
30,000. I think the number was like
Jeez.
29,000 copies graded. Oh, 39. I'm sorry, 39,000.
I think that, like, the only ones that can really rival that are like the early 90s Jordan cards, right?
Probably.
Like in sports, anyways.
Sports, yeah, for sure.
Because you're just talking 30,000 for a 10.
Yep, not even the nines. Trust me.
Yeah.
I'm in that group that has a lot of nines.
Yeah. This card here, I feel like going through this set, there's a lot of guys that baseball's forgotten about, and I think Don Mattingly still has some value on his cards compared to some of these other guys here. But I mean, if you want to go back to the late 80s, early 90s, like, there was no one bigger in baseball than Don Mattingly. He was the guy. Everybody loved Donnie baseball. Most recently, he just became the manager of the Phillies. Phillies got off to a terrible start. They fired the manager, put Don in there, and the Phillies have been on a run since he took over, which I think is very cool. Former Dodger manager, always really loved Don Mattingly.
Okay, hopping in here. I'm going newest to oldest. So this card's from 2022. This is from the Japanese V-Star universe, which is in English Crown Zenith. That set is extremely awesome. Very fun to rip. It was very cheap when it first came out. It was like one of these special sets, so you couldn't get like a booster box, which is like a hobby box in sports. You had to go hunt these ETBs, which is like a mega box, or it's basically a mega box. And then we have like the booster bundles, which are like the blasters in sports. That's the only way you can get this set when it first came out. So this was fun. Rip, one of the coolest cards that I've seen. I really enjoy the artwork and all the detail into it. This is actually a set of 4. I sent you a picture of it this weekend, but I wanted it in English, not in Japanese. And the English ones are way more expensive. I think if I wanted to get the whole set in 10s, I'm looking at like $1,700.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I can't, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, the pop on this one's like 22,000.
22,000.
Mm-hmm.
I think most of the, obviously it's SGC, so I don't really know what, the pops aren't going to be high, but it's a little harder to find the value. So, next one up is Tony Gwynn, who, no longer with us. Probably one of the best pure hitters in the history of baseball. I mean, the guy, in my lifetime, he's the only guy I ever saw that flirted with hitting 400. I think it was mid-90s. He was going into September still above 400. Ended up probably that year, I think, batting like 390 or something, which is an insane number. Right now, I think there's only 2 guys that are hitting over 300 in the league. So I had a lot of opportunities to actually see him play growing up in LA and going down and catching games in San Diego. One of the classics.
Dude, that's actually really cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're starting to get newest to oldest. So we're going into 2020 or 2017. I almost said 2027. This is from 2017. This is right around the time when I really got heavy into collecting again. There's going to be a little bit of breaks here in the collection. You'll see a couple years of gaps where I don't have anything. But this is what you considered a full art. It changed, right? Now there are special illustration rares and illustration rares, but this is what this was called before we had those. So this is a full art. You can tell here, full art, and then it's the character's name. This one was a really cool one because I remember pulling this with my sister back when we used to rip packs together. So
it's very cool.
Neat one. Mm-hmm.
Question: So
Yes.
back in 17, when they did full art, there was just one card that was full art, and now they've made like multiple full art type ones in a
So
set.
this was the end of the set. So this one's from 145 of 145. There were still cards outside of that set. They were called secret rares at that time.
Okay.
So like this set, Sun and Moon, there's other cards that are outside of the set that are worth more because they were harder to get.
I'm getting an education on Pokemon today, and I like it. I've kind of wanted to do this for a while, just to learn and see you talk about your cards. So this is the guy right here. This is my favorite player as a kid. I think everybody agrees he's the best hitter, best baseball player anybody
That's
we've
not
seen
Mark
in our
McGuire up
generation.
there.
It's definitely not. No, it is Barry Bonds. I think that it's a shame that Barry Bonds got caught up in the steroid era. I think that if he had continued to play without steroids, I think that you still would have seen somebody that had 500 home runs, would have hit 300 for his career or close to it, and also probably would have had quite a few stolen bases too. He was just like that 2002, I think it was 2002 World Series where it was the Angels versus the Giants. I have never seen somebody get the hit in the big moment every single time in a series like Barry did that series. I mean, it was every time he came up to bat, I was saying, there's no way he can do it again here. And every time he would do it again. I mean, he was just so locked in. And if you guys go out and look for the stories on, some of the things Barry would do with, talk to with, like, I think one story was Dodger closer Eric Gagne, where he said, if you come in to close the game and you're actually willing to throw me a pitch to hit, if you throw me one, I guarantee I'll hit it out. And Gagne made him that bet and did that, and he hit the home run. I think it was something to that effect. But there's just so many stories like that. To me, greatest player of the last 40 years.
Dude, that's actually pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie. Like to talk your stuff and then back it up. Like that's impressive.
So if you think about, I don't know what year it was. It was towards the end when he was chasing the 700 mark to beat Hank Aaron. He would be intentionally walked 4 out of 5 times a game or 3 out of 4 times a game. And the one time he came up to bat, you saw a lot of pitches that were junk balls in the dirt. He didn't have the ability to swing. He would get one chance, 1 to 2 pitches that were actually hittable in a game, and he would still get the home run on it. It's insane. I think that the fact that he's not in the Hall of Fame is stupid. Like, put the steroid era guys in the Hall of Fame already.
It was part of the game, right? Like everyone talks about it. Like we should just take it. They either did or they didn't, and maybe he did, but it doesn't diminish what they've done.
Tell the story. Tell the story of baseball. I heard Jeff Passan say that this week he was in an interview with Matt Barnes where he said the Hall of Fame story's job is to tell the story of baseball. You already have the high mound era versus the low mound era where pitchers were throwing off of a higher mound, their ERAs were lower. Baseball stats are in the context of the era they played in. So we have the steroid era. Put the guys in the Hall of Fame already. Get over yourself.
I think that's valid. Very valid. Going in here, this is not anything that I pulled, but this is something I picked up off of OfferUp, and I thought it looked centered enough, so I sent it in. This was from my last sub. This is a Dedenne. This is from the Trainer's Toolkit that you can only get this version of this card in, so I think it's pretty neat. It's numbered 195A, which means it's like a special card out of a subset. So I thought this was pretty cool. Surprisingly, this card's gone up like in graded value. I think last time I checked it's like close to like a $400 card. Artwork's pretty neat. Character is not really like anything special, but it's really just the artwork and the fact that you have to buy a special, beginner set to even get this card is what I thought was cool about it.
Is the beginner set expensive?
No, I think it was like $30.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like to basically help you learn how to play the game.
Got it. Very cool. Next guy up here, got Donnie Baseball again.
Donnie Baseball.
I think it's just your base. It's a 96. It's Don Mattingly. It's childhood nostalgia. Very happy to get the 10. I did really well on this submission too with SGC. I feel like sending your 90s cards into SGC is the way to go.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely grade based off of condition and don't try to, reduce pop like PSA does. At least that's how I feel.
Or you could make the argument they're a little easier graders, and that's why their cards are valued at less. I don't know.
Very possible.
Yeah.
So another blast from the past. This is from 2019. Base Sun and Moon. This is from Hidden Fates. So this is one of the full arts that I was telling you about, but this was a special set inside of another set. This is numbered SV, so Shiny Volt. All the shiny cards in this set have this silver background, and it's the shiny version of the Pokemon. So that's why it's like this. If I were to pull up another one from this SV, it still have the silver background to it. This is from my personal collection, so happy to get a 10 here. I was actually a little worried that it was kind of off-centered left to right, but when you have the character taking up the whole card, it's kind of hard to tell that it's a little off-centered. So I felt like the graders were easy on me on this one.
I don't know. That is the challenge. Some sets are absolutely hard to figure out, because there aren't clear borders on it, right? Mm-hmm. So I struggle with that all the time.
Oh, so mine on that one, sorry, is only 4,000.
Yeah. Only 4,000.
Mm-hmm. So like for TCG, it's relatively low.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you just look at the grading numbers for TCG right now. It's like PSA is like 2,000, almost 2 million cards a month. I think it's 1.5 million now. So it's wild. It's a crazy time to be collecting TCG. Here, in my mind, last 40 years, 90s on, this is the best pitcher I've ever seen pitch. Greg Maddux, this is a cool little parallel card. It's an award winner. He won the National League Cy Young in 95. This was a guy, I think they called him the doctor. Like, he was a guy that could pinpoint the ball right on the edge of the plate. Wherever he wanted to put it, he did not miss the strike zone very often. The player with his control, I don't think I've seen one since. But we got a lot of good young pitchers right now. It's the fun part about baseball is pitching is definitely on its way up.
Yeah, I mean, talk about Skewball, right? Like, he's a good one. And then who's the other one? Paul Skeens. He's another pitcher.
Skeens. Yeah, so Paul Skeens he's having a little bit of a down year this year.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what you call it, but I think with pitchers, like, it's very, very hard to be effective year in and year out when you're putting that kind of strain on your arm. I think when you're young and in your 20s and you know how to throw, you can mix up off speeds with like a 99, 100 mile per hour fastball like Jacob Mizorowski's doing right now. I think it's very easy to be unhittable, but as you age and your arm gets a little older and you can't hit those high 90s, you got to figure out how to kind of master control painting the outside corners and also working on your off speeds, and it's the mix of it. So it'll be fun to see how Skeens bounces back next year as he develops as a pitcher. But yeah, you want to talk about Skubal. I mean, even on the Dodgers, you've got Yamamoto. We'll see what Roki Sasaki does, but you got the Paul Skeens, the Jacob Mizorowski's, like a Cam Schlittler in New York is having a good rookie year for the Yankees. I mean, there's just a lot of for such a sport to be focused on hitting and offense for so many years, to see this pitching resurgence. It's a fun time for me, for pure baseball fans.
Yeah, well, I get it. It's you as a Dodgers fan, you got a lot to go for. As an Angels fan, I'm happy that we lose, to the Rangers 4-1, but Mike Trout got a home run. I'm happy. I saw that. I'm happy.
He hit his 20th.
Yes, his 20th.
Hit his 20th. We said he just needs 4 more years like that to get to 500. I can't wait. I really hope he does it.
I'm locked in here. Every time he hits a home run, I have the little notification go off on my ESPN app.
That's awesome.
So this is a Japanese set from Sun and Moon. It's called Alter Genesis. It's also, I forgot what it was called in English. I should have remembered this. But one of the rare cards in the Japanese set. It has 3 of the legendary Pokemon from this era on it, kind of here in the photo. This card, I got into a break. I bought the pack, or the booster box. I bought it for like $250, which is really expensive at the time for Japanese cards. And I pulled the best card out of the set. So this card...
That's so cool.
Yeah, this card's pop 3000, so there's not a lot of 10s out there in the TCG world, but it is also valued at PSA estimate was like 755. So definitely a good return on my investment over here.
That's awesome. As someone who does not get into a lot of breaks, when you get into breaks, actually I've gotten into no breaks ever in my whole life.
You've never gotten to a break?
No.
Oh my goodness.
I want to open up cards, I don't know. I'd probably, if I did it, I'd probably love it. That's why I'm not going to do it. So, but I was going to ask you, like, when you get into breaks, how often do you get a card where you go, yeah, that's sick? And how often are you walking away going, that I didn't get anything out of that I wanted?
Dude, it's hit and miss. So it's the shout out to Collector's Galaxy, by the way. He does all my breaks. That's the only time I ever get into breaks, unless it's like a random TikTok basketball one. But this is where I pulled it from. He had a box sitting on the side. I've graded cards through him before, and I trust him enough that it's not like a research box or anything like that. And I've been lucky enough to get cards like that. And then there's also times where it's a fresh case and a box full of fresh sleeves come out from a set, and there's 144 in them, and you get like one hit.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's really just hit and miss. It's all really about the batching. So, and the cool thing about like the old Japanese sets, if it's not a high class set, it's not guaranteed to have a hit like this. So that's the other thing. There's times where you don't get a super big hit like this, which makes like, I guess, the whole point of collecting like fun and like the thrill, the chase.
The last time I bought a just box from my PC, like a hobby box, and opened it up, I walked away from it going, God, I got nothing out of that. And I've just haven't done it since. So
when was this? This was Christmas time? The last time you got one?
I think it was like right after that. It was a baseball set that came out. I just happened to be, I was going to we were having dinner with Stat Girl, and we just happened to be close to a card shop, walked in, and they just had brand new, it's like 2026 baseball, or I think it's 2025 still. And I was like, yeah, okay. He's like, hey, we just got these hobby boxes in. I was like, you know what, give me one. He's like, I'll give you two for whatever. He cut me a deal, and I was like, okay, let's do two. And I walked home and had nothing out of it. So,
like, this guy just blanked me right now.
No, because he gave me a good deal a few times before.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so like he's always a guy that's willing to kind of knock a few dollars off to make you walk out of there feeling happy. But he can't control the hits. So
can't control the hits.
Can't control the hits. This is the guy, to me, the captain, Derek Jeter. You talk about 90s baseball. Let's talk about the end of the 90s, the beginning of the 2000s. I feel like this guy has been forgotten. I feel like people don't talk enough about how good he was. I think he's the standard bearer for like this century's, like what you're chasing. The guy, I think he has 4 rings, might be 5. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it's somewhere around there. I mean, the guy played his whole career with the Yankees. Very few people have ever been given the captain title in the pinstripes. I don't know what else you can say about this guy. He's one of the greatest of all time in my mind. And I don't feel, all that being said, I don't even feel like he gets enough respect anymore. I feel like people are not talking about how great he was anymore and appreciating it.
You think it'll be like a Kobe instance where like they don't appreciate him until he's gone?
Yeah, I think he's been forgotten. And I think his cards are woefully undervalued. There's not enough hype about how great he was. That's just the instincts on the field. Just that one play against the A's in the playoffs where there's no reason a shortstop should be cutting off the ball from right field to home, and he's running over to foul territory just out of instinct, grabs the ball and does a little backhand to the catcher because the throw was offline, and they get the guy at the plate to win it. I mean, that's an insane play. That's a play that no one will ever repeat, and somehow he did that on the regular. And he's also a guy that always had the big hit when the Yankees needed it. He was amazing.
That's good. It's very good. Shout out to Derek Jeter. Right? That was Jeter?
That was Jeter.
Yeah, just kidding.
Yeah.
So, another shiny vault. So, very similar to the other one, right? Silver background. Got the shiny going on. The specs. This one's from the PC. So, Pulled this one, graded it myself. Happy to get a 10. It's one of those nail biter ones, right? A little off-centered, top to bottom. But thank you, PSA Grader, for making it happen. Definitely sits good in my binder at home.
How many more you got to go?
5? 6?
5? Yeah, I pulled 15 here. So,
okay.
All right. I got 6 after this. So, another Man Ram, All-Star. I just think, like, if you remember him towards the end of his career with the long dreadlocks and who he was, what he looked like at the end there, to see him clean-shaven here and just young baby face, it's just kind of a fun card to grade. But, yeah.
Definitely a neat one. Going into this is from the PC. My little sister pulled this. So, I stole her card. If you guys are keeping track, I did take her card. She said,
does she know you graded it? Does she know you?
No,
graded
I haven't told her.
Okay.
I was gonna wait to see her because this is one of the cards that came back in the sub like maybe a month ago. So This is actually a 2-part card. We only pulled the bottom half. There's another card that'll look like this, and it goes on top. I can see if I can put it in post editing here. That way you guys can get the whole effect. But this is one of the things why you collect and why you grade what you want. I knew it wasn't gonna gem. I have some scratches up in the front, but this has a cool memory because I remember pulling it with my little sister. Right,
Very
I think
cool.
that's the reason why.
I can't see it on this. Yeah, I can't see it on the screen. What's the grade on it?
It's an 8.
An 8. Yeah,
so
still not bad.
It's not bad. Got a little white corner dings, but I'm happy with it.
It's the memories, and you tell the story every time you pass that card down, right?
Yeah.
Every time you pull it out, for the grandkids and the nieces and nephews someday. Here's a guy. I respected Roger Clemens' game. I thought he was a great pitcher. I remember him with the Red Sox. He ended up finishing his career with the Yankees, played in Houston a few years. When he was on, he was one of the most unhittable pitchers. I think he got caught up in the steroids era there. I think his name got called out on it, but he's a guy that really should be remembered for his longevity and the big games he pitched when he was with both the Red Sox and the Yankees.
Going in, this is really a long time ago. This is not for my PC. I picked this up off of a guy off of OfferUp. This is 1997 Japanese Snorlax. This got a 9. The reason why I wanted it, and I probably overpaid for it, if you can see here, it has a swirl in it. And notoriously, people go after the cards to have the holographic swirls. So I was excited. I thought it had a chance at a 10. Obviously, the grader did not feel the same. I also think it might have been pop control, because I think in a 10, it's like a $4,000 card.
Wow.
So, yeah.
What is it in that grade, roughly?
I think it's like $400.
Sucks.
But definitely a neat card.
I can take a look at it sometime. I'll tell you what I think. Even if you just send me the cert, I'll look at it. So,
yeah.
All right. Here's a guy that... It's another one that probably... I don't know if he'll ever get the hype for what for the career that he had. Played his whole career with the Braves. I think he was in the postseason almost every year of his career when the Braves were on that run. They only won it once, so I don't think he has the World Series rings that people should have respected, but just a solid hitter year in, year out. I think he had close to a 20-year career, and every year he just came up to the plate mashing. He's also a third baseman. It's a position I played in high school, so anytime I see a third baseman, I'm usually collecting him.
I didn't realize you played third base.
I
don't know why I thought you were maybe a first baseman.
I played first and third. I caught my junior year in high school. I was solid defensively, but I was never a great hitter. I was a good hitter. I wasn't great, though. Now, if I'd put any work into it, like the kids do today where they get, coaches and all that stuff, and had any sort of encouragement from my parents, hey, I might have gone to the next level. You never know.
There you go. Might have gone to the next level. I mean, you got the frame for it for sure.
I'll tell you, man, if I knew I was going to work this hard in life, I wish I would have put it in high school to become a pro athlete. That's probably my biggest regret in life.
No, I get it. So, this is another one. Little sister, This was right around the 3DS era, so we're going into video games here a little bit. This is a set called Heart Gold, Soul Silver. The video game is also named after the set. One of the best video games they've ever come out as a remake. Definitely one that I enjoy playing to, like, again and again, even to now. This got a 9. We pulled this one. We got packs, from like a Target or a Walmart or whatever, and it was cool. I knew it wasn't going to gem, but I'm happy with a 9. There's only 590 of these in a 9. Take a guess at how many are in a 10.
1,100.
123.
Awesome. Very cool. I've got Sammy Sosa here. I think let's just put these guys up here together. I don't know how any other way to do it, right? Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa. I mean, that was the chase that everybody was looking for at the end of the 90s when these two guys really brought baseball back, really made it fun again to break the single season home run record. It was, like going back to the history of that, I think it was 98 where they finally did it. But, Ken Griffey, McGwire, those guys were challenging. I think the record was 61 or 63 at the time. Might have been 61 home runs in the season. And you'd have guys that, were pushing it at the All-Star break, and you're going, okay, if they stay on pace, they're going to, they're coming into the All-Star break with like 40 home runs or something like that. And then coming out of the All-Star break, they would wear out. Second half of the season's tough, and they would get close, but they would never quite do it. I think Griffey had a year where he had 57. McGwire was like 58, 59. Then 95 comes. Somehow Sosa gets in the middle of it there. I think that's when the steroids became really prevalent. But that run at the end of 98, they didn't just break Roger Maris's record, but they were challenging each other to see who would finish up on top, to see who would, end up with the ultimate record that Barry Bonds would eventually go on to break. But that was baseball at its best for me in my childhood right there.
Dude, that's super neat.
Yeah.
All right. So this is when I got back into collecting right after high school. I had got a job. I had big boy money at the time, making a whole
big boy money,
$9.40 an hour at Sam's Club as a cashier. So this is some of these next 3 are some of the cards that I've pulled getting back into collecting right after high school when I could, afford to do it on my own. So it's not worth it like a whole lot of money, but I remember pulling this. This is from Plasma Freeze, the English set. But there's only 8 of these in a 10. I thought this was pretty cool, especially for TCG.
I think it's fun to hear the stories of like the different eras of your life when you were collecting as a kid, when you first got out of high school. What has happened the last few years, I think, is insane too. So I'm just going to put these two guys up again together because it just makes sense. 2 Griffies. We've got one of them being just the base card out of the set, and then one of them 1995 American League Divisional Series card, probably the prettiest swing that I've seen in my lifetime. I could watch replays of Griffey hitting every day of the week probably and never get sick of it. He was a legend that did it the right way. You saw his body wear down towards the end of his career, and his career statistics probably could have been more if he'd done things that other guys were willing to do, allegedly. Allegedly, but
there's no proof. Maybe
no proof.
Maybe.
But I mean, there's statistics like there was only one guy in 100 years of baseball to have his like highest home run year being after the age of 30, and it was like age 31. And then all of a sudden in the mid 90s, you have like 12 to 20 guys that had their highest home run year of their career at ages like 35 and on. I think you might look at that and go, hey, they were doing something different. Maybe they were having help. Who knows? But as I said earlier, I think it was it doesn't matter whether you can prove it. It doesn't matter whether they did it. I think the rules on drug testing are what the rules will be for the union of the baseball players union. They can have it however they want. But the statistics are the statistics. I think they should be celebrated for what they accomplished against each other in their eras.
Oh, for sure. They definitely had some of the greatest hitting battles ever. And going to end it off with these two beautiful slabs here. They're from the same set, so it made sense to put them together. But right around the time I started getting back into collecting, big boy money, I was a little nervous sending these out because I really didn't have them protected. They were just in penny sleeves. And I found them in
You
my
didn't put them in top. You didn't put them in.
They were, dude. I was young. I was.
Oh,
dumb.
you were storing them that way.
They were storing. No,
Yeah.
I was a little nervous. They were just in the ETB case, but definitely neat looking cards. I think they were cute, so I sent them in. Don't come for me in the comments because I said they were cute, but definitely cool cards. The pops are not high on these either. I think the EV right here on my right is only a pop 800, and then the Pikachu, everyone knows Pikachu, Pikachu, is like a pop 1400. So
yeah, definitely know the name for sure.
Yeah, that's my collection.
And Charizard.
He's the blue guy.
Very cool. I was thinking about this before. We were like, what are we going to talk about today? We're in the dog days of August, man. Like basketball, nothing's going on there.
No, absolutely nothing.
Nothing. The only thing that I saw was that, I think it's the Knicks and the Sixers start the season against each other, game one. That'll be fun to see.
I think that'll be fun.
And then I was thinking about baseball. It's just right now in August, Dodgers, you can tell they're just kind of checked out. It's the grind part of the season. They're not playing like they should, and it's probably true for a lot of people right now. They're resting up and getting excited for the September chase and what's coming in October. So there's not a lot to talk about. I think this was a fun one to do. I've wanted to see your Pokemon cards for a while, so that was fun for me to see you talk about them and learn about what they meant to you.
Well, I'm glad it was fun for you. Because I really enjoyed going through your sports cards. I know how geeked out you get with baseball, so it's nice. It's also nice to see people on another level, with that level of enthusiasm, even if it's in a different, aspect and a different genre of cards. So, which is why we do the podcast.
Definitely a fun little episode. So, on that note, I do have to get running. So, I say we call it.
All right.
And I know you've got your hands full in life right now, as do I. So we will come back here next week, and hope you guys, we'll talk to you guys later.
Hey, guys.
Base card heroes. Because we'd be doing this even without the cameras.